Hi, class. I wanted to go back to a topic that deals with the numerical approximations, and here's the idea on the error bounds. So each of the numerical approximations, the midpoint rule, trapezoidal, and the Simpson, it's actually causing an error as we're doing the approximations because the formulas are slightly different, and the actual bars of the histograms that are creating are slightly different depending on which one we're doing. And the main idea in this part of the section is that we're going to be looking at these formulas. And what these formulas allow us to calculate is one, the error that you're using or the approximate error that you're using in any of these evaluations. And second, they allow us to find how large the subintervals of n should be in order to maintain an error that is less than a specific value or less than or equal. So let's take a look at the first example. I forgot to mention. So as you're finding some of these values of m, which is basically a bound on the derivative of the function that we're trying to integrate, some of those sketches could be really messy. I'll provide them on the final exam if they show up. For the reading, you may use Desmos. Otherwise, it becomes extremely messy to calculate those, and you may need other techniques such as, so if you're not using like Desmos, you may need other techniques such as an additional derivative and then Newton's methods to approximate. Well, in this case, you would be approximating a maximum value. So it becomes really messy for that. So we typically just use technology. Okay, so let's take a look at this problem. So for this particular problem, they want us to actually find n. So let me rewrite it as find n such that the following has to be maintained. So they want the error to be less than technically 10 to the negative 6, and you technically have the function of x to the fourth. The values of a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 1. Now the actual formula that we're going to be using, in this case they're using trapezoidal, so it's going to be this formula. But for this formula, we have to find the maximum of the second derivative in absolute value within the interval. So let me just take the first derivative. So f prime of x is going to be 4x to the third. Then f double prime of x is equal to 12x squared. So as we're looking at 12x squared, this one is just a regular polynomial, and technically for this function, this is going to be f double prime of x within the interval, and you're looking at absolute value between 0 to 1. It's going to have the maximum value at 1. So the max occurs as x is equal to 1. So the max of f double prime of x on technically in this case 0 to 1 is at x is equal to 1. So this is the portion that I mentioned that second derivative or fourth derivative, if you're using Simpson, could be really messy, and in that case you may just use Desmos for the actual reading assignment, or if you're practicing a homework assignment. Some of those derivatives will be extremely messy, so we would never do anything by hand. Software will be used on any of those. Okay, so from here, let me actually plug them into the formula. So we're going to find n. And the actual formula is the error. It's going to be less than or equal to, and we're using the m. So it's going to have the m b minus a to the third power divided by 12n squared. And let me just double check, 12n squared, yep. Okay, so the error that we're trying to maintain, it's technically 10 to the negative 6. That's going to be less than, and the values of m, so in this case, f double prime of x is equal to 12 times 1 squared, or 12. So in this case, m is equal to 12. That's what we're defining the constant. So let me just rewrite it as 10 to the negative 6 is less than or equal to, in this case, 12 times 1 minus 0 to the third power divided by 12n squared. And then let me just move the problem up here. So we just have the 10 to the negative 6 is less than or equal than technically 12 over the 12n squared. Let me double check. Was it? Yeah, there is a 12. Okay, so this is going to give us 10 to the negative 6 less than or equal to 1 over n squared. So let me multiply by n squared, multiply by n squared, and we're going to get n squared times 10 to the negative 6 is less than or equal to 1. And let me divide by 10 to the negative 6. So you're going to end up with n squared is less than or equal to 1 over 10 to the negative 6. And then let me take the square root. So n is less than or equal to the square root of 1 over 10 to the negative 6. Let me evaluate this. Okay, so n is less than or equal to 1,000. Okay, so now your final statement, it's gonna say something along the following lines. N has to be greater than 1,000 to maintain. Oops. So to maintain the error using trapezoidal rule, to less than 10 to the negative 6. So this statement here, we may say n has to be greater than or equal to 1,001, since you're trying to find a bound for the error. And with any of these, the more the better. So at a minimum, you can just say that n has to be greater than the value that you're obtaining here. Any value greater than technically 1,000 here, it's going to guarantee that the estimate on the error, it's going to be 10 to the negative 6. And this is pretty much what we're using. And keep in mind that we're just finding a upper bound. So any value greater than or equal to 1,001 will satisfy that inequality. The more the better. But the main idea is that we're just trying to actually maintain that 10 to the negative 6 from the actual value of the integral, or maintain it to be less than. That would be it for this one.